Hi everyone, it is springtime and I'm outside just in the process of cleaning my outside cats and doing some litter trays, and I'm probably procrastinating by making this video today, but I wanted to talk to you about something that comes up a lot with new cat breeders, and I just thought it was a really good time to have a chat about this because I was just talking to one of the members of my new cat breeders club who's actually a friend of mine as well. It's somebody that I know quite well, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the conversation I was having with her, and it's one that I've had with a lot of people, probably a few recently actually. But before I do, I just wanted to say I'm in the middle of cleaning. I'm always giving you videos when I'm in the middle of cleaning. I think it's the procrastination. So who have I got here? I think you can see Gabby over here, but I've also got my friend's cats. I've got my big top spot pan over here. I've got my friend's cat staying with me because she's in New Zealand. Hi Tara, if you see this. Tara's cats are staying with me while she's over in New Zealand with her daughter, having a wonderful time. So I'm looking after them for her, but while they were here, one of them is calling. So one of them is actually in with my boy as well. So I've got cats visiting and staying with me, kind of like boarding, and I just put one in with the boys as well, so we're doing a mating at the same time. So that's an interesting visit for her. She knows about it, we planned it beforehand. And I've also got, she's not out in the pen or anything, but she's got her British here, but she's also got a little Scottish fold here as well, a little blue Scottish fold. And what's kind of fun is that one of the other girls, because it's three of them, the other one is actually already pregnant to one of my boys as well. So that's kind of like a really good example of, it's not what I want to talk about today, but it's a good example of how in the cat fancy and it's really a community, and we do help each other out where we can. So she couldn't go away unless someone could look after the cats. She has someone at home looking after some of her cats, but I've taken the three girls that were probably going to be calling and being a little bit harder to look after, and had them here at my place so that she can go off and enjoy her holiday. And she's done favors for me too, so it's really cool. The longer that you breed and the more you go to shows and things and become part of the community, you'll find that there's always people willing to help you. Who have we got here? Oh, behind me we've got this is Quimby. I'm just pointing to Quimby, and I can't see where Baxter is. Oh, Baxter's on the little chair there. Can you see Baxter? I've got Quimby and Baxter in there. I'm so proud of them because Quimby is my stud cat from the Czech Republic, and he has never had a friend live with him before. He's always been a single cat just with girlfriends. Oh, there's Gunter. He always comes out for videos. He's always been a single cat, and I was not able to get a friend to stay with him because it just didn't work out that way. I've actually done a little video on this I'll put up later. But now he's got little Baxter living with him, and they're getting along just fine. And I absolutely, I'm so happy. My heart's full seeing them because all I wanted for him was some friendship, and now he's got his friendship. Hi Juanita, how are you? Hi Kim. So that's really cool that he's got a friend there. And then, yeah, there's Gunter. There's my Gunter. He always comes out. He's the one that's always like, meow, but he's being nice and quiet today. They were making a lot of noise earlier. And you can see over here, I've got my trays ready to do. So I've got to get onto that. And like I said, procrastinating. But what I wanted to talk about today, and this is a really interesting subject that I guess it applies to existing breeders too, but I find it's a problem for new breeders, is the feeling that you're failing. And I got a message. That message I got today was from someone who's had a few difficulties that are really, really, oh, if you can hear squeaking, it's the cats on the wheel. Really big difficulties and big problems that they've had, and it's just like pile on top of pile on. And she asked me, she said, I feel like such a failure. And I thought to myself, wow, this is someone that, I've been mentoring since quite early on, and I've been really, really impressed with the way that she's been raising her kittens, the way that she's been dealing with owners, the way that she's been dealing with her adults, the presentation of her cats when she brings them to shows, the way that she, involves her family and the support she has from her family. The setup they have for the cats, I've watched it come along from the very beginning, the first cats, to, you know, how the progress has been, you know, going with her and her breeding. And I'm just like in awe of how she's done such a fantastic job. And to hear her say that she feels like she's a failure just really breaks my heart, because it's just not true. But what I want to say is, when you're new, you will feel like that, because you feel like everything's, you know, not going to plan, and bad things are happening. But when you've been breeding, I hope it's not too windy, when you've been breeding nearly 20 years like I have, eventually it'll be 20 years and I'll be able to say that, when you've been breeding a really long time and things go wrong, it's not such a drama, because you're used to things going wrong. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but I thought about the things that are happening with me at the moment. I have a very, you know, I have a very sick cat who's going to pass away soon. Well, I have to help him out, but I have a cat that has lymphoma, and so I'm dealing with that, and I'm having to medicate him. I have a cat he's not in heart failure, but he's medicated for his heart, and he probably will go into heart failure soonish. I have to medicate him every day. I have an 18-year-old cat that I have to be very careful with, who I have to look after very carefully. I've got a cat in renal failure as well, and I've got what else do I have? You know, other problem cats. I've got cats that have I've got a cat that isn't socialized, so I've had to keep her. I've got a couple like that. I've got Patrice, who has a very bad heart, who's recently gone back on Superlorin again, but you know, any day she could leave us because of her heart. And the worst case I have at the moment is I have a cat, Tiffany. Tiffany's come back to me because she her owners, they're wonderful people and would do everything they could for her, but it was better for her to come back to me because she had chronic diarrhea, like really bad. You know, the situation was just untenable for her to stay with them. So she came back to me, and I've been treating her, and we've gone through a couple of different treatments with her, and you know, I'm working as hard as I can to get her to poop properly again. And I'm actually at the point where I'm thinking, and I've talked to my vets about this, and it may actually happen, so I'll document it if it does, but we might even do a fecal transplant for her. So all of these things are happening with me at this time, but I guess I'm not sharing that with everybody. I'm not sharing everything bad that's happening, because to me that's just I don't want it to sound like it's normal for bad things to happen, but it's normal for stuff to be happening. And so it doesn't get me down mentally, it just challenges me. And I sort of go, well, okay, this is a difficult situation. What am I going to do? I need to deal with this. What am I going to do? I need help with this. Who am I going to ask for help? So I think that's kind of where I'm thinking that I feel about things. So the same, you know, I'm probably, if you listed it all out, there's probably more stuff going on with me than people who are saying they feel like they're failing. But I'm not feeling like I'm failing, because I've moved past that in my journey as a cat breeder. And it really is a journey. You start out at the beginning, and this is something we have in my new cat breeders club. We have a journey map, and we say, well, we're starting here and we're going to end up there. And it's not like a race to the finish or anything. It's just mainly based on experience and time and the things that you do. But you know, when you're starting out at the beginning, you're going to feel like if things go wrong, you're going to feel like you're doing something wrong and you're failing. But really, the things that, getting back to my friend, the things that she feels she's failing about, she really isn't. There's nothing there that is under her control. And everything that has happened, she's dealt with it in such an amazing way that I think it's the opposite of failing. I think she's actually succeeding. But for a new breeder, you see it in a different lens. You see it as failure, whereas the rest of us might see it as succeeding. And I want you to know that pretty much all the crap that might have been thrown at you by Mother Nature, mostly, the rest of us have all been through that and go through that and will go through that. It's part of the deal. And I know for some people it's too much. It is too much for some people, and some people don't end up staying in the hobby and, you know, move on from it, and that's okay too. You have to have a certain amount of resilience to do this kind of thing, and a lot of emotional resilience too, because there's going to be stuff. I'm just going to get some cats in the background. There you go. There's going to be stuff where you're going to have to deal with some really big dramas and some really big losses and some really big emotional events. And it's a bit like you come into this hobby thinking it's all going to be really cute cats and kittens and going to shows and winning ribbons and things, and there's this whole other side to it that you're going to find out about too. So when that does happen, and it's going to happen, don't think of it as failing. If you're doing your very best, if you're doing everything you can to be doing the right thing by your animals, then you're succeeding.